It is 1 a.m. in the morning, 1:06 to be exact. And I'm up cleaning, and I just had this thought. And I just want to know why it is that people demonize others trying to help them. And when I say that, I mean, you may be talking to someone and notice that something is wrong. And just you asking what's wrong, and just you being close to them, and just you, it's only but so many times they're going to say, oh no, I'm fine, I'm cool, I'm this and that. And you feel it in your body every single time. It's only but so many times where you finally try to break through and say, well, you've been acting this way, you've been acting that way, and it seems like something is really wrong, but you keep saying that it's nothing. Understanding people need space is the reason why maybe the first 9 times you've asked them, they said, I'm fine, you let it go. But when it starts to disrupt how you communicate, and it starts to disrupt how you are received, or how you are able to receive them, because you can just feel a wall going up, their rebuttal is, why do you think that you're a therapist? And let me just be very honest. I'm specifically talking about men, because I don't hear this from women. I hear men use that statement more than I hear women use it. 10 out of 10 times, it's always a man who has a broken relationship with his mother who makes statements like this. And if the man didn't have a broken relationship with his mother, he had an extremely traumatic relationship with a woman who did something that left him deeply scarred. And I believe that when men experience a deep emotional wound, it may be worse than women, because, and this is not to dismiss what we go through, but what I'm saying is it's a very abrupt shift. Chi-Chi! Chi-Chi! Get up here. It's a very abrupt shift. So it's almost like, if for so long men have been taught to blanket how they feel and just keep it pushing, that exposure of their emotions is something that they're already gambling to be vulnerable. But then B, once you, and somebody right now maybe even listening to me saying, oh, she thinks she's a therapist. But B, it may also be then that person is now realizing that they are in a situation where they don't know how to deal with their vulnerability, or they don't know how to hold space for it. They don't know how to safely hold it, because they're only used to not having it at all, or suppressing it. So then when something comes up, like what would be to a woman an easy conversation, it's a total challenge to somebody who is otherwise not used to even speaking about simple things, or emotional things, or to go in spaces verbally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, that haven't been visited before, especially with another woman. Not understanding that going into the space with the woman would normally be deemed as safe, as long as she's not manipulating, because the woman knows how to hold several layers of emotion. And who's to say we wanted to be burdened with all of this? Do you know how much it takes to hold space for damn near everybody in your life? Just to be turned around after helping, and to be told out of another space of trying to help that you're always trying to be a therapist. This is what I'm going to say about therapy. Because I had this question. I asked God this question. I asked Google this question. I asked other people this question. my question was, when did therapy start? Right? And I'm talking about these formal or modern or new age forms of therapy where you have your what do you call it, licensed social workers, and you have your therapists, who a lot of people confuse that with a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and it's not the same. But then you have the psychologist and you have the psychiatrist, right? But before all them people came, there was talk therapy, and that was something that was done back in times of the pyramid. You got a problem? Let's talk. We all know language, like. But then some people would go to the best of the best in the village because they gave the best advice and they were put at a certain place amongst their peers. So they were the go-to person. I don't think they had a license. They just had a reputation of helping. So then nowadays, it's kind of like I'm always a roots person. I'm always looking for the root of how anything started. What is this? Where are we? What are we doing? Like that. So if you're talking about we're the origin of literally helping them. I was about to curse. I'm trying. I'm stopping. I was going to say MFer. I'm just being honest. But it's just because it irritates me. Because it's like in the moment that you use that spiteful reply to try and put a thorn in the person that's helping you is the moment vulnerability is calling your name and can shift your whole everything and create a bound for you to now learn how to live inside of your emotions and deal with them on a regular basis instead of blanketing them and then using them as weapons towards the person that's trying to help you. I just don't understand why most of these things that's been around for a very, very long time tend to get demonized in this day and age when they need to be held at a higher vibration and in more practice. It's not to force people beyond their comfort zone, but it's to help them understand that it's a better way for you to sit with how you feel without holding it right there and staying that way. Like if the discussion is hard, trust and believe me, it's going to be hard on both sides for both people. Because I'm asking you the question, I'm mentally preparing myself for, I may not like what I hear, I may not know how to address it all the way. I may not, but like seeing the fact that compassion is sitting right in front of your face, you just glaze over that. Like there's no support for the supporter because you need a license. Or you need enough people in the village to be like, oh yeah, they can help. Watch when this whole world turn to shit. And there are no papers that exist anymore. And documents online ain't gonna mean a mother... Alright, sorry, I'm trying not to curse. Ain't gonna really mean a thing, right? And you're gonna need to find somebody. You're gonna need to lean in a little bit. Because it's gonna be desperate times calling for desperate measures. And what are you gonna do? Are you really going to stand there and ask them, how long have you been practicing it? Like, are you really going to... Why can't we just engage in the spaces that we are in and be the leaders and be the changers that we keep looking for? Why can't we do it? Why can't we do it? Why? Why can't honesty take up more space? Why can't new rituals take up space? Why? Why does everything have to just be so damned all the time? Why? But that was my question for the public. That's it. That's what I have. If you have an answer, please comment what the answer is.